After 4 months of recovery, Bronny James has finally been cleared for a full return to basketball. What looked at first like a potential end to his career may look like just a blip on the radar when it's all said and done. Hey, what's happening everyone? This is Swish Culture. It was just 4 months ago that Bronny suffered an on-court cardiac arrest that shocked everyone when they found out about the incident. This was way too much stress for any 18-year-old to be going through, much less one that has specifically spent his entire life working towards a career as an athlete. The medical staff at USC, where Bronny plans on suiting up in the coming weeks, made sure he got the attention he needed as quickly as possible, and this quick response most definitely played a role in his quick turnaround. It's no secret that Bronny loves the game of basketball, and not playing as well as not knowing whether he'll ever play again was a pretty tough pill to swallow. Thankfully, the successful surgery brought about the best case scenario, and as much as he wants to play, there are a lot of us interested in seeing how he performs at the next level as well. Despite him being cleared to play, however, there are still those that try to place a political aspect on the situation. I'm letting you know firsthand I will not be discussing any of that today. What's important is that the best medical team has cleared Bronny, and he has an opportunity to pursue his dream of playing in the NBA and alongside his dad. This would obviously be something historical for both LeBron and his son, as well as the league. Even if you dislike LeBron, you have to admit that a father-son duo in the NBA is one of the most epic moments to ever witness in sports history. Who doesn't want to see that? I was of course concerned, but I'm not a part of the medical team, so I won't question whether or not this presents a problem. Now, even though this news just broke, there's been a number of things happening since my last video on Bronny. My last update stated that the family was discussing it, but their goal was for Bronny to return. Since then, we've had a few updates in between, but nothing as big as this. Before we get into the details, if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So without further delay, let's get to it. So ESPN got tipped off by a spokesperson for the James family that Bronny has been cleared to make a full return. The USC staff will give him a final evaluation this week, he'll resume practice next week, and then return to the game soon after. A month and a half ago, Bronny was introduced on opening night with the rest of the team, indicating that they were at least expecting him to be a part of the team activities. Last week, he did warm-ups with the team, but obviously didn't participate in anything beyond that. The Trojan men's basketball team, who currently own a 6-2 record in the NCAA, are now an even more dangerous team with Bronny available. In Bronny's absence, the team has been relying heavily on guard Boogie Ellis to shoulder some of the guard and scoring duties. It was somewhat expected that the USC backcourt would consist of Bronny James and Isaiah Collier, but since Bronny's cardiac arrest, it's unclear whether Bronny will start with the Trojans, as Boogie has been leading the team to a lot of wins, and Bronny is just coming back off what could have been a life-altering incident. I'm expecting the team to at least get his conditioning back in order before making such a decision. For those of you who don't know, Ellis is a senior at USC. He's a 6'3" guard and currently averaging 21.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, 1.5 steals, and only 1.5 turnovers, while shooting 48% from 3 and 79% from the line. Boogie is a player that is currently projected to get drafted early to mid-second round in the 2024 NBA draft. His production has been absolutely necessary for the Trojans, who rely heavily on his scoring to compete in the Pac-12 conference. This conference hosts teams such as UCLA, Washington State, Oregon, etc. Now, the Trojans were likely looking to start Bronny in the backcourt with 6'3" Isaiah Collier because, frankly, this kid is the best point guard prospect by a long shot, according to ESPN. He's got elite court vision, feel for the game, speed, handles, and advanced playmaking skills. Good enough to be ranked first in the entire draft class. The idea was that Bronny would play the 2 guard next to Collier, which would theoretically give USC the best defensive backcourt in the NCAA. Since Bronny is a combo guard with shooting and defensive chops, elite athletic ability, and the ability to play off-ball, this positions him uniquely to play alongside his freshman teammate. Collier is currently averaging 18 points per game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds, while shooting 54% from the field. But that's the good stuff. Unfortunately, he turns the ball over a lot at 5 turnovers per game and has only shot 25% from distance over his 8 games with USC. To get a better look at his shooting, I looked at his free throw percentage, which at 57% is very concerning. Despite him being ranked first, I don't know that a 6'3" player who hasn't shown that he can shoot could possibly be drafted first overall. Donovan Mitchell, by comparison, shot 25% from 3 his first year at Louisville, but his free throw percentage was 75%, so it was no surprise when he shot 35% from distance the following year. His free throw percentage also improved to 80%, so that was an indicator of where his shooting was headed. This all led to him being drafted 13th overall by the Utah Jazz. Still, it seems teams aren't too concerned since he's able to score. For additional perspective, Ja Morant was a better shooter during both his years at Murray State. No pun intended. Despite having the cardiac arrest, Bronny never really lost much and still maintained his NIL deal worth $5.9 million annually, more than any other amateur freshman in the country. This is likely due to the doctors citing the issue as a congenital heart defect, something they were able to reliably operate on and resolve, after which they gave him a full bill of health. Once the clean bill of health, which is this latest report, was given, it's likely his value will increase even further. One of the last things I want to discuss in this video is the impact all that missed time likely has on Bronny. Since July, when the incident happened, Bronny has had to stay away from practices and basketball activities. He's had to basically abandon the game at one of the most crucial turning points in the life of a young athlete. I mentioned the mental anguish he most definitely went through, but how far back will it set him physically? Even though he has a clear bill of health, the medical staff will be watching him closely. They'll likely take some time to ramp up his practice, and it may be 2 to 2.5 weeks before we actually see him get on the court. For him, it's crucial that the coaching staff works his conditioning in while practicing with the team to build chemistry as soon as possible, as he's not had any sort of workout with his teammates in a practice setting since his medical incident. Add that to the fact that he's missed 4 months of basketball, and while in the long run it could be a minor setback, with March Madness only 4 months away, he doesn't have a whole lot of time to get back up to speed, practice with the team, especially with all the games, and finally be in a position to help the team close out wins. A minutes restriction wouldn't surprise me to start, but don't get your hopes up thinking that next week Bronny is suiting up to play 35 minutes with the Trojans. That being said, he spent enough time watching the team play, so it won't be as if he's starting completely from scratch when it comes to knowing the team plays, and on top of that, Bronny's a smart kid who knows how to play the game. Regardless of what happens, he's still going to get drafted at the end of the year. Can't wait to see him ball out for USC. Let me know how you feel about Bronny's full return to basketball. Post your thoughts in the comments below, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on all your notifications for more NBA content. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish.